First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
It's a violent abuse case that left one baby dead and her twin sister badly hurt in Isle of Wight County.
And today the baby's parents went before a judge for two hearings, one for custody, the other for crime. Mary Leanne Webb and her boyfriend Robert Malinsky listened as the judge in social services discussed custody of their 4-month-old daughter Ella and Webb's 4-year-old daughter. Then on your side's Katie Collette was also there. Katie.
Tom, the first hearing today involved Webb retaining an attorney. Eventually, the judge appointed her one from the court. Then came the custody talk, and that's when the judge ordered us from the room.
Because this is a case involving children, 10 on your side was not allowed in the Isle of Wight courtroom where Leanne Webb and Robert Malinsky stood to discuss their children. However, outside the courtroom, we did learn about one child, Webb's 4-year-old daughter.
I'm the 4-year-old's father.
You're the 4-year-old's father? Yes. Have you been able to see her? Do you have her? Okay.
The little girl's father saying he has custody of his daughter for now. Meanwhile, social services tells me they still have custody of 4-month-old Ella, the little girl who 1 week ago lost her twin. Ella's sister Piper died after investigators say Malinsky hit her in the head. They say she also had a burn on her foot, and both little girls had broken ribs and damage to their skulls. Detectives say the abuse happened behind the doors of this Smithfield home, where Webb and Malinsky lived with Webb's father. We tried to speak with him today as he left court.
So we just want to hear how your family is and how the children are. Is there any reason that you don't want to speak with us about how everyone's doing?
Webb's mother?
Do you have anything to say for your daughter?
Also silent. Webb's attorney tells me the next step in all of this is the couple's preliminary hearing in April.
Meanwhile, I'm told the custody hearings will continue until an official ruling is made. Katie Collette, 10 on your side.
And 10 on your side is court documents detailing the abuse the Malinsky twins allegedly suffered inside that home in Smithfield. We'll share those documents with you tonight, new at 6.
The 13-year-old boy charged with the deadly shooting of a 12-year-old girl in Chesapeake faces a new charge of gun possession. Also today, a judge denied a request to have the teen released. Carolyn Walker was shot on Geneva Avenue in Deep Creek last month. 10 on your side's Ava Hurdle is in the newsroom tonight with more on today's courtroom developments. Ava?
Nicole, the teen appeared before a judge with his parents and also faced down the mother of the girl he's accused of killing. The teen who's charged with the shooting death of Carolyn C.C. Walker will remain behind bars, and her mother is pleased.
No, I know the judge made a wise decision.
Minutes after a judge denied a request to release the teen from custody, Lisa Walker, the victim's mother, explained why she felt that way.
We have no control over the community and what may happen to him. God forbid, I hope nothing happens to him, because I don't want anything else to happen to any other child out here.
Last month, Carolyn was killed off Geneva Avenue when the 13-year-old allegedly got a gun from another child who apparently took it from an unknowing parent. Lisa Walker now aims to try and make a difference in the lives of young people.
With the speeches and everything that I would be going to different schools on this matter of, I thank God. I just thank God for giving me the strength, the courage to keep moving on here, because that's what CC would like for me to do.
The teen is facing manslaughter charges. And that 13-year-old faces a detention review hearing next month and an arraignment on the gun charge. A trial is now set for May. I'm Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
The teen's parents declined comment immediately after today's court appearance.
A biker spotted a body in a ditch in North Carolina, and now the sheriff calls it a homicide. The person on the bike called the sheriff's office after seeing a man's body on the side of Holiday Island Road in Perquimans County. That's off Pender Road. Now, the sheriff says the victim, Chad Colson, had several cuts on his chest. Authorities are waiting on the autopsy to determine exactly how Colson died. Police are searching for a person who shot 3 people in Newport News. Officers found 2 men and 1 woman shot near 33rd Street and Marshall Avenue around noon. Investigators say the woman appears to be an innocent victim in all this, and police did not say anything about how the others were involved. If you have any information in this that could help police, call the crime line. And a driver lost control of their vehicle and then hit the Great Bridge Shopping Center in Chesapeake. Here is a look at the front of Tobacco for Less on Battlefield Boulevard. Police aren't sure how this happened at this point. Paramedics took the driver to the hospital. Emergency crews evacuated the store, checked out the building, and then allowed all the customers back in. And the cleanup, well, that continues tonight.
The focus for school board meetings across Hampton Roads tonight, balancing the budget. School leaders in Newport News need to come up with ways to cut $5 million. 10 on your side's Allie Lucia has more on how they hope to see green. Allie?
Nicole, today I spoke with the assistant superintendent out at Newport News. She told me benefit costs for employees are going up $10 million next year. The reason why they're only looking for $5, there's still stimulus money left over that the school board hasn't touched. Mary Lou Rousseau, who handles the district's budget, told me in the last 4 years they've eliminated 386 positions, mostly through attrition. This year, more cuts are expected to be made, 55 positions, 34 of those are teachers, but again, those would be teachers who are retiring. Rousseau says the district has done a good job of planning ahead.
So what we did instead, and what the board was certainly supportive of doing, is doing some one-time things, meeting some one-time needs with that one-time money. So we did not continue the positions that some other school divisions did at the time. So we began to immediately drop the number of positions that we had, so that we could do it gradually.
Rousseau told me they've only had to eliminate 6 positions in the last 4 years. In Newport News, enrollment is down by about 1,200 students, which has also helped in balancing the budget. Energy-saving costs have also been put into place to help save money. Now, if you're interested in attending tonight's school board meeting, it's scheduled for 7:30. The board is seeking public input about the budget. Allie Lucia, 10 on your side.
School leaders in Virginia Beach have to make $40 million in budget cuts. The school board will meet in about an hour, and 10 on your side will be there. Look for an update tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6.
The House of Delegates again put off voting on a measure that would require women to undergo an ultrasound before having an abortion. Yesterday, thousands protested this legislation at the state capitol. It's not clear when that bill might come up for a vote again. We'll follow it, though. We have an important announcement for Cox Communication subscribers in Hampton Roads. On February 29th at 11:59 p.m., Cox's contract to carry WAVY TV 10 and WVBT Fox 43 will expire.
WAVY WVBT President and General Manager Doug Davis says in a statement, "We are working hard to reach a new agreement with Cox. However, we feel it is our duty to keep our viewers informed when a contract deadline approaches and a new agreement has not yet been reached. If we do not reach an agreement, by law, Cox cannot carry our television stations on its cable system." He goes on to say local television stations are important assets to local communities like Hampton Roads. Without a fair agreement, we will not be able to provide the premier news, sports, entertainment, weather, traffic updates, political coverage, and other local and national programming that is most important to you. Go to wavy.com for updates and more information. New developments involving the tax company at the center of a 10 on your side investigation.
This is people's personal information that anybody could have come by and gotten.
New at 5:30, Mo Money Tax's CEO answers questions about tax information found in the trash. And it can be a disturbing and smelly scene. We'll tell you what's bringing people of all ages out to see a beached whale in Ocean View. And something happened today on Wall Street that hasn't happened for nearly 4 years. You'll hear what caused the excitement.
And a little sunshine is causing excitement, a little warmer air, too, throughout the region after a very chilly start to the day. We warmed on up into the upper 50s for the most part throughout the area, even colder into Newport News. We'll talk about what's ahead, even warmer, in just a few minutes.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Some cheers on Wall Street today as stocks hit a level not seen in nearly 4 years when the Dow touched 13,000. That happened 2 hours into the trading day on news that Greece would get more bailout funds, but then traders cashed in. High oil prices also contributed to a bit of a slide today, but still, the Dow finished positive, closing up at about 16 points to 12,965. The NASDAQ gave back 3, and the S&P got nearly a point. Celebration continues tonight in the streets of New Orleans. It's Fat Tuesday, the final day of the Mardi Gras season. Thousands of people from all over the world are in the streets in colorful costumes as parades make their way through the French Quarter. The big party is big business, as you can imagine there. The financial impact from the festival will be close to $200 million.
It's fun. It's good times. It's a party. It's a big party. It's the biggest party in the city.
New Orleans is going through a renaissance of sorts right now. There's a lot of investment into the community.
Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, is celebrated the day before Ash Wednesday, which is when Lent begins.
More than 250 drugs are in short supply. Relief for some patients is on the way, and we'll tell you what's making their life-saving treatments possible.
Work is underway to figure out what caused the death of a beached whale in Ocean View, and a lot of people are watching. Hear why they want to witness the animal version of an autopsy. Marine biologists from the Virginia Aquarium are working to determine what killed a whale. Its body washed up on the beach in Ocean View. Chopper 10 took you above the massive beached mammal this morning, and it's a messy job.
But surprisingly, a lot of curious people turned out today to witness a necropsy, the animal equivalent of an autopsy. Then on your sides, Art Kahn is live in Ocean View. And Art, what's it look like, or better yet, what does it smell like out there, too?
Well, I have good news on both of those fronts, Tom. It looks a lot better out here, and it definitely smells a lot better out here. That's because the whale and all of its parts are now buried about 8 feet below the sand. Now, it was kind of smelly out here earlier because scientists were cutting that thing up as part of their process to determine what caused the animal's death. I understand that. What I haven't quite figured out, though, is why so many people turned out here today to witness a process that is not for the faint of heart. As scientists on the beach began the huge task of performing a necropsy on one of the largest marine mammals on Earth, the walkway to the beach was transformed into an observation platform for those who just had to see this for themselves.
Just curiosity. Just curiosity. I usually come down here during lunch hour and come down and see what's going on here today.
I hope he had a light meal.
I cannot look at that right there. Oh my goodness.
It's hard to look at a whale or any other animal for that matter being dissected, but people showed up throughout the day to do just that, even taking pictures.
Well, nothing else. I show it to my grandkids. Yeah, hopefully they'll start, respecting nature.
This was a chance to not only witness nature, but smell it too.
I think it stinks, but it's a fascinating thing.
Marine biologists understand that fascination and really aren't surprised by the turnout this morning.
And while we hate to see them like this, washed up on the beach, it's an opportunity to see an animal close up that in a way that you would probably never ever see it in any other circumstance.
And there's so few whales, they're dying all the time, and they're nothing like what they used to be, the numbers. And so it's important to know.
But it may be several months before anyone knows exactly what killed this whale. Of course, one of the things they're looking at are those injuries that were on the whale that were definitely caused by a collision with some kind of vessel. You know, we got word from the Navy today that a submarine did have an encounter with a marine mammal on February 2nd in the vicinity of Thimble Shoals. We'll have more details on that for you coming up at 5:30. And then tonight at 6, we'll be back here live. I'll take you in a little closer to the process of the necropsy and show you what they're doing to try to find out exactly what happened to this animal and why it's so important to all of us. Tom?
All right, looking forward to that. Are pieces of the puzzle coming together in Ocean View in Norfolk. You may have noticed that we called it a fin whale yesterday. We called it a sei whale. Now, officials say the mammal looks very much like a sei whale, but later discovered it was actually a fin. Also, those are endangered species.
Now, in high definition, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
A little cool to be out there checking out that whale.
Yeah, especially early in the morning. It was really cold.
Yeah, really cold this morning. It was in the 20s and low 30s. Very, very cold overnight. And last night at 11, I lowered the low temperatures just a bit. And everybody pretty much was into the 20s last night, except right along the water's edge. But that's the big thing that we're going to talk about, the rebound in temperatures that we've got going on right now and that we're going to expect in the next couple of days. This wide picture really kind of tells the story. We're at 57 right now, and the coldest air is retreating northward. And if it's retreating northward, the warmer air is going to start lifting northward too, and we're going to see that over the next couple of days. So it'll warm up a little. It warmed up a little today. It'll warm up a little more for tomorrow, and a lot more coming up by Thursday and Friday. Temperatures throughout the region right now basically into the 50s, a little cooler in Melfa right now with a southwesterly breeze blowing across the water, holding the temperature down there. We've seen off and on cloud cover, a little more sunshine right now. A couple of sprinkles as well during the middle part of the day. Here are our lows, well, not the lows, but temperatures by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and likely only drop on down to around 43 to 45 for an overnight low. And after the sun comes up, we start warming up to 48, 49 tomorrow morning at 7. Look at this tomorrow during the afternoon, around 63, perhaps mid-60s into some inland areas during the day for tomorrow. Starting the day with lots of sunshine, and then later in the day we'll see some cloud cover move on in, and then we'll take it all the way into Thursday during the early afternoon, around 1 o'clock, 69, 70, 72 degrees, yes. And by 3 o'clock it'll bounce around a little bit, 69, 70, 73 degrees. So again, very, very warm air is going to be moving in. Now, as far as that rainfall that I talked about, there's where it was. It just kind of drifted on through, and it's long gone for right now. We're not likely to see any more of that during the overnight hours. Outer Banks, you could see a stray sprinkle or two coming up in the next several hours. And we're going to see some more cloud cover move back in a little bit later on. Here's where things are at 9 o'clock this evening. And as I mentioned, Hatteras, you could get a little bit of rain. Here's where things are at 2 o'clock in the morning. Winds bump up a little, 10 to 15 miles an hour. And then by the morning hours, we clear off for the most part. 7 o'clock, 10-mile-an-hour winds. Middle of the day, a westerly breeze at 10 to 20 miles an hour. And that's going to warm things on up. Now, we'll see cloud cover move back in during the latter part of the day for tomorrow. And then we'll see a little bit of rain just kind of flip on through very, very rapidly by around 9 o'clock. And then by midnight, it's gone again. 15, 25-mile-an-hour winds briefly dropping back on down on Thursday morning. And then Thursday during the day, some sunshine, some cloud cover, and it'll really, really warm on up. That's when we're going to see those temperatures pretty close to 70, 71 degrees. Here's a look at our cloud cover moving quite rapidly through. And again, that little bit of cloud cover off and on during the latter part of the day, and a little bit more earlier, 54, 57 degrees. Temperatures again basically into the 50s right now throughout most of the area after high temperatures well into the 50s, 57 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be even warmer, 59, 64. Actually, that should read 63 degrees in Ahoskie. For the south side, 63 to 65. For the peninsula, we're looking at 61 to 64. Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore, 60 to 62, averaging things out at 63. Again, those sprinkles coming up tomorrow evening late, 71 on Thursday, 70 on Friday with a little bit of rain, then cooler again for the weekend.
The average teen reportedly sends and receives more than 3,000 text messages a month. But do you know what they say? Find out how you can track their messages.
More threats from Iran, the warning from military commanders tonight at 5:30.
There's a new way for parents to make sure their kids don't get into trouble with their cell phones. Once installed, the Pix Checker app records every text message and picture sent from your kid's Android smartphone. It'll send them to a website where you can check up on your child's communication.
I think children are entitled to their privacy. I do think that you need to have a dialogue at home.
I think when it comes to your kids, especially this age, I don't think it's an invasion of privacy. I think it's a right for the parent to know.
It's like okay because like my friends don't send inappropriate things, and so like I really don't mind it just as long as she stays out of my friend business.
There's no limit on the number of messages the app will record. They will stay online until you clear them. Parents don't need a smartphone to use the service either. It'll notify you if the app is tampered with or deleted.
All right, let's clear the air. We're on your side with new research on the hazards of breathing in pollution. Plus,
outrage in Afghanistan, why thousands protested outside the main U.S. military base, and why American military leaders are apologizing.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Really?
You said the transmitter's down? Welcome news for cancer patients. The FDA says certain drugs that have been in critically short supply will soon be available again. A pharmaceutical company started shipping thousands of vials of methotrexate to hospitals across the nation today. The drug is used to treat cancers in children. A generic version will be available in March. The FDA is working with the company in India to alleviate the Doxil shortage. Doxil is needed to treat ovarian cancer.
The FDA has been actively and aggressively working with industry and other stakeholders to ensure that treatments and therapies always get into the hands of those who need them when they need them.
Production of the drugs dropped when their primary manufacturer shut down over safety concerns. The FDA will also require companies to notify regulators of issues that could result in further drug shortages. There are more than 280 drugs on national shortage lists.
And researchers are telling us there's more evidence tonight of how unhealthy it is to breathe polluted air. Sounds like a no-brainer, but a Brown University study links air pollution to stroke in as little as 12 hours. A report in the Journal of the American Medical Association found even short-term exposure to dirty air increases risk of heart attack. Research in the Archive of Internal Medicine shows pollutants lead to premature or accelerated dementia in women. Doctors and air quality advocates say the studies show the urgent need to clean up the air.
We can't think of pollution at any level as safe. Even down to the very lowest background levels, there are studies that clearly indicate that background pollution even has health effects.
Now, under the Clean Air Act, air quality standards for pollutants are supposed to be reviewed every 5 years. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.